On count of three, what do you use to separate the eggs when you put them there to keep them from rolling? 1, 2, 3. Straws.
Alright guys, it's Antoine with Hot Desert Pythons back again. I'm with my man Ernie from Infinite Scales. And I came through today, checked out the facility, saw some cool breeding projects got going on, man. So now we're just kind of just kicking back and chilling. So I figured, if we're gonna just shoot the shit, I might as well just record it, So what got you into ball pythons? Like when did you get started? And
So I was into snakes when I was young. So when I was like 15 years old, I had ball pythons, I had iguanas and stuff like that. But when it comes to breeding, I actually didn't get into breeding till 3 years ago. And I was watching Brian Borshak and I fell in love with his videos, and then I saw all his ball pythons he had, and that's just something that I wanted to do. So I took the passion that I had for reptiles. I'm like, you know what? I want to take it to the next level. So I want to breed them. I want to make this awesome snakes, and of course, the bananas will caught my eye. So I started with the banana, and they call it that's what catches those beginners' eyes. That's what caught my eyes, and then from there, it just evolved from there, man.
Just be glad the banana didn't catch your eye 8 years ago.
Yeah,
$30,000.
I can just imagine when I hear all these prices of people talking about the pinstripe was another expensive snake. I just can't. It hurts me, man, when I spend when I got the Wookiee gene and I spent a couple grand on that. I was like, but you know what? You gotta invest, man. You gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah, it's like I had a GHI early. I paid $4 grand for a GHI male. I paid almost $900 for a single gene pastel male around that time, and then the pinstripe close around that same thing. So that's the era I started in, and then being on and off a couple times. So that was just crazy to kind of seeing how these genes come and go now. And I sold that GHI for $150 last summer.
that's why you kind of get that's the fear that you have, right? Because now if you're getting into one of these new genes or these up and coming genes, are you gonna spend that good money? Is it gonna stay at that price, or is it gonna drop these other the pinstripe gene drop?
Right, too. But at that point though, it's usually a return on your investment. It should be at that point too, So if it's probably not the huge percentage you got. So by the time you spend, say you into some project, say you get a stranger male and you pay 15 grand for him. By the time you get that stranger male and grow him out, stuff like that, you're probably not gonna be able to sell his babies for 15 grand. There's gonna be some drop. But by the time you put somebody out there, you will still make your money back and then some. So you gotta kind of play the percentages that way too. You know what I mean? So and then you just gotta make sure, especially when it's a co-dom or dom gene or whatever, that by the time you produce yours, the market isn't getting oversaturated with stuff.
So take, right?
That's just a chance you take. So and then you got crowds and stuff falling off and. The controversial genes like the banana and coral glow stuff, how the price dropped on those because the whole sex link thing and the male maker female thing and stuff like that. And then some other projects where we still haven't seen them on eggs, like the Scalers project too, every time any Facebook forum you go into right now, a Facebook group, somebody's gonna bring up, hey man, just wondering, anybody got a scaleless female that produced yet? Nope, didn't think so, and then everybody gets triggered about that because the people invested in that project are there's no way she could be resized right now.
You get the opposite sides of the spectrum. You never have no one in the middle. Okay, I can see both sides, either pro it or against it,
I mean, it's just the same thing with every other team, like Team Pepsi or Team Coca-Cola or Team Xbox or Team PlayStation. You know what I mean? I'm one of the few people where I don't fight over, the PS4 is better than the Xbox because I have both.
I just want to taste the taste of both worlds. There you go.
When the 5 comes out and the Xbox X or whatever that's going to be, Xbox Malcolm X or whatever that shit comes out, I'm gonna buy both of them, and whichever one collects dust, that's what I'm gonna sell. So.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think for me, the one thing when I just started breeding 3 years ago, for me it's adjusting and understanding the market. So that's something that I'm still to this day learning, and I'm trying to see how it works and how to invest and how to go towards which projects and stuff like that.
Well, the hard part about it is, especially in the ball python industry, is once you start using the words market and business and things like that, for some reason, even though those same people are using it as a business, they'll sit there and try to downplay it like, oh my God, in your head, you should think of it as a hobby and a passion first before you make money. Shut up. Like, you know, like, oh my God, like you're just using this as a means to make money. If I spend money on something, like thousands of dollars on it, I want to be able to get some kind of return on my investment, you know? So like, why am I going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on rack systems and buy, you know, a couple grand of these animals and then just sit there and watch them, hang around with them? And then, like, if I want to throw money at a project and never make an investment, I'll buy a boat or a motorcycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like, maybe it starts off as a hobby to where, yeah, cool, I'm doing something, I love it. And yeah, we still love it. I love it to this day. But then once you start spending a lot of money, you're like, damn, like, I need to make some type of money to, like, cover all these costs. Like, so you have to look at the market, I think. You have to understand it because you got to make something back.
Right. So, I mean, and then just kind of, like, with me every year, like, just checking my females and like usually right around like late August, early September, it's like my final choice of what I'm pairing my stuff with too, you know, because a lot of my stuff starts to go like early fall too, you know what I mean? Because even though we're in the desert, like I'm like what, an hour away from you, you know, like there's no rainy season here, no monsoon season and stuff like that, and there's really no humidity either. So all that stuff is inducing our own by, you know, spraying.
You do the spray thing too? Yeah, I got that from Miguel. I was like, all right, let me try it, and it actually works.
Yeah,
man. I was
like, I spray the heck out of that stuff. Like I make it almost like nasty in there, and then you know. So then kind of doing that, and it works, you know. So I mean, it's stuff I've done a long time, you know. Like a lot of times, like you just get set in your ways for certain projects too. But anyway, so yeah, I'll sit back, and then I have a couple little tiers. I go, okay, the normal people who buy stuff from me, like the everyday pet quality people, I know isn't going to spend $1,500, $2,000 on an animal. You know, like most of those people, the people who come and buy like feeder rats from me, who might have between 1 and 5 snakes. They'll be comfortable spending between $80 for like a pastel male or $200 for like a female spinner blast, you know, something like that too. So I always have like my first couple pleasures of the year for those group of people, you know. Yeah. And what's crazy is like even now I could put a single gene pinstripe female on MorphMarket and still sell it for like almost $200, and they'll go like that too. But it's also like the reputation you have with people too. So. And a lot of times that affects your sales too. So like you can have the same exact animal as like one of the bigger breeders, and you're not going to get the same money that they get for it too, because they have that trust and that guarantee. And just with us upcoming breeders, you know, that's the relationship we're trying to have.
That's what we got to build.
We're doing the social media and things like that. So just developing that rapport with not people you just work with all the time, but even the people you don't work with that see you out there, that they can at least like, hey, co-sign you on this too, you know. So that's why whenever I do videos now, whenever I'm doing like anything having to do like recessive and stuff too, if I'm gonna sell hets, like there's proof. Look, this is the breed. Look, that's the visual. You know what I mean? You see it on my Instagram.
You build that trust with your customers through your videos and stuff. Right. So you see, like, you know, I've seen them. I know this is true. I know this is what it is. So that's cool, man.
Right, and that's what makes me buy some over other people, because if I can see the person behind the company instead of just seeing like a name, if I can see you and watch some of your animals grow up throughout the years and things like that, you know what I mean? Like I know that if I can put a face to it, I feel a little bit better about sending. You know, send you a Venmo or PayPal or my credit card information and stuff like that too. Because like even like a lot of like the bigger companies, I don't send my PayPal stuff because like I've known them for so long. I just say here's my card info. They run my card and then that's it. Or like I Zelle through my bank. Yeah. And then I even do it with those like companies too, because I've dealt with them so many times. Got so much stuff from so many people. Like so who's like, other than Brian, who's some of like your biggest like inspirations?
Miguel would be one of my biggest inspirations, because when I started watching him, he was still doing his. If I remember, he had his snakes in that outside tent thing he had and stuff like that. I was like
the hydro.
Yeah, the hydro garage and stuff. And that's actually what I was thinking of doing. At my other place, I wanted a garage. Man, if he could do it, I know I can do that too.
Shout out to Miguel, his brother Jesse, because that's where I get my Rep the Chip from. So
Rep the Chip,
that's my Rep the Chip deal.
Hey Jesse, I need another refill, man. So I'll be hitting you up soon.
So big shout out to Jesse. It's funny when I pick up Rep the Chip, but Jesse be like meet off on the highway somewhere like by like the Chevron or something like that. You see
people just like looking at you like,
and it's like a Mexican dude, this big ass black guy, like looking around, like throwing bricks in the back of my car.
Those really cocoa chips.
Yeah, I can't wait to get pulled over and have to explain that and stuff too. But that's gonna be hilarious. But so yeah, man, yeah. And then Miguel, he's been a dope inspiration too, man. And just kind of watching him like I know he's only been a couple years in with the ball python stuff too, but he had the right people around him, and that's the biggest thing with any business too, you know, because he runs a lot of successful businesses and companies, and he is a successful person. So if you want to be successful, you should probably emulate successful people.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so like when the businesses that I have outside of the ball pythons and stuff too, like I read books and watch videos and listen to people talk. You know, so like you can't deny how successful Mark Cuban is. You know,
Yeah.
So what I learned from him when I was like running my gym, he used to say stuff like, well, you know, if you can help it, don't take it out of business loan and blah, 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 like that too, and find other ways to get the money. Because if it fails, you still owe the company your money.
Yep. But
But if you kind of figure out a way to master it yourself, you know, that's how you do. So I took that same mentality from my MMA gym that I did with the snakes. So like I was teaching people out of a garage, and we got to the point where in the 2-car garage, we started to have 20, 30 people in the 2-car garage in 110-degree temperature. So what I ended up doing is like I offered a couple of guys a deal. Like, hey, the first 10 people to come up with like X amount of money by the end of the week, that'd be like your yearly pay for the gym. So like in 24 hours, I had like $10,000. You know what I mean? So I had that. So I got that. I put down payment on the building, turn on utilities, get some gear, the stuff we didn't have. And it's the same thing with the snakes too. Like you try not to start off super, super big. You know, like. You know how many times like I get paid and all my other bills are paid, and I'm like, man, I can go call Freedom Breeder right now and just get like wall full of racks. But I want my snakes to pay for them, you know.
Yeah.
Like so when I do go big, so I have like a ARS rack now, and a couple little Freedom Breeders here and there. But it's stuff that my snakes paid for that they have to come out of the pocket with. So and the same thing with some of like my higher end snakes, like selling all of those babies ended up paying for them. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm getting to the point this year where I'm finally producing some higher end stuff, but I'm getting to where do I want to keep growing, or do I want to sell it? You know what I mean? So that's,
you know, it's always crazy like that too, because you'll post stuff that you want to hold back, and the thing is, everything has a price. It does. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you get the right amount of money thrown at you, in most cases, in our situation, because I mean, we both make good money, but we're not rich at all. You know, you know what I mean? So if I produce, So let's say, what's the best thing I can make this year? I don't even remember what the hell I got breeding this year, but so say I get this little super asphalt inchy clown pie. I make that, and I hit one of those out of the egg, and it's a male, you know, and I'm like, hey, this is a holdback, and then you know people call and be like, hey man, is this for sale? I'm like, nah, like, well, I'm gonna give you $50,000 for it. If you don't think
it's so hard to say.
If you don't think I'm looking at that snake and go, man, I can do this breeding next year. Here you go, bye.
Yep.
You know, so.
And to me, it's like when I have something that I want to hold back, and someone DMs me and they're like, hey, let me buy this off you. I'm like, you always have that other snake that you want to purchase. So I'm like, you know what? I can let this hold back go, but I can put the money I make from it to get that one that I want. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, it's difficult, man. You know, especially if it's not maybe not a world's first, but if it's something you very rarely see or something you put together yourself that could possibly be a world's first, and you're just sitting there like, I need to keep it. It's good for videos. It's good for Instagram, you know.
So how are you? So like, I think we were talking about it earlier about like you being in the camera. Like, how are you battling that? Because me, I don't like being in front of the camera. It seems that I'm like trying to battle and like trying to get past.
Oh, I hate it. Yeah. but just like everything else, like me coming from like a martial arts background too, like you get better by getting your reps in and doing it. You know what I mean? So like a lot of my friends, a lot of my peers with ball pythons, they always say, look, hey, like how do you get up in front of a martial arts gym, you teach Brazilian jiu-jitsu and you teach kickboxing, but you don't want to be in front of the camera. Like, you know, but even as a coach too, I'm behind the scenes. I'm not that coach. Like even when I have like some of the best fighters in the world eventually, where I got guys in the UFC and things like that, I never want to be that guy that you see like out there. I don't want to be like, you know, all up in the video. I don't want to be like the P. Diddy or you know, too. But I realize though, especially when you have a company like this, especially where like it's infinite scales, like you're the guy who cleans up the snake poop, and you're the guy who answers phones and sells snakes too. So they should probably kind of get to know you, get to see your face. You know what I mean? So, and I should always tell the people about their companies, and I really wasn't following my own, you know, my own advice. So I was like, man, I need to do it. You know. So
yeah, that's the same with like when I did, like I just started the YouTube thing like a month ago when I had the time, and I just like, man, like I see all these people and the way they get their people, the way they build that trust is through all this social media. So that's something I'm like, I got it. So I just took the jump, man. I mean, I'm still trying to get comfortable, but yeah, I think it's a necessity nowadays.
Yeah, it's definitely a necessity too, man. And then what's crazy about that is like you see a lot of the old timers. I see people making the memes about like, oh, how to be a successful ball python breeder, start a YouTube channel and trade stickers.
It's free. It's like, you know, not free advertising, but it's easy advertising.
It's good advertisement, man. You know, like if you invest in the sticker company, get a logo made and stuff too, like those translate to sales. You know what I mean? So it's just that's just how it is. Like nowadays, if you refuse to keep up with the times, that's like somebody calling me and say, hey, I heard you have like a male clown pie for sale. I'm like, yeah. It's like, well, can I see some pictures? All right, well, can you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope in the mail, and then I'll send you a Polaroid of the snake, and you might get the picture in 6 to 8 weeks. And so, you know what I mean? So that's like staying with that whole, you know, mind frame, man. And it doesn't work, man. The technology is there now, so why not use it? Yeah. You know, so I mean, it just kind of adapting with the times and kind of figuring out what works. And I mean, it's okay to fail, you know, just like with breeding and stuff too. Like you're going to mess up. Everybody under the sun is going to send you all kind of advice. Oh, you should do this to get your male and female to go. You should do that. Or you should do night drops. You should do that. And then when you do your substrate, you need to have this amount of ratio. No.
It's cool. The advice is cool, but then you still got to like see what works for you. Like I've done several things where I try. Like, all right, someone says this, or I see something on a YouTube video, and I give it a go, and it doesn't work, and I just drop it.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. But like, so what's the altitude here? Do you know the altitude here? So where I'm at is like 2,300 feet. You know, and I think altitude has a lot to do with like how my snakes react too. Because I've had some of those same snakes. I had a couple that I like let people have when I got out of the States for a bit and got back, and they behave a lot differently when I live like at sea level than when they do there. It's just a completely different thing. Like So everybody tells you, okay, when your snake does a pre-lay shed, how many days to the shed, to the lays? How many is that on average? What they might take 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days, yeah.
I've never had one go 30 days ever.
Yeah, right.
The earliest I've had one go was like 45, 46 days. I've had something lay like day 50, day 51, and I used to trip like, oh my God, what's going on? My snake is egg bound and stuff like that too. And nope, fine eggs.
Yeah, you have to like adapt on the fly. Like I was telling you earlier too, like last year, 30 days, like 30, 32 days my eggs were, or the females were laying. Now this year, like I'm like 35, 40 days, and it's just like change. Yeah. I'm not freaking out, but it's like, it's just different. You know, you get used to something, and then you just gotta be able to adapt to it.
Like they don't have a calendar.
Yeah, they don't. Like, you just gotta have a guess, and then you just gotta understand.
Yeah, they don't have an alarm and go beep beep beep. Oh man, let me push these eggs out. When they're ready, they're ready. So like a lot of my stuff throughout the season, they normally lay the same time every year. So like, you know the whole thing about like the time frame that you start paying them to get after they lay, about 7 months or whatever. Yeah. So I have some lay, like last year I had my, like the pied female, I bred her to the clown last year, and she laid April 1st last year. So feeder. 7 months later, started pairing her again this year with the Inchy Asphalt. She laid April 2nd this year.
On a schedule.
Like right on the money. But she started laying actually technically like overnight, like between 11 and midnight, her first couple of eggs. So it was like April 1st, April 2nd too. So, I mean, a lot of times you can get them on that same cycle too. I mean, if you feed them the right way, get them up to speed and breed them the way you're supposed to. So sometimes it works, but other times too, like my yellow bellies this year, they swap. So I had yellow belly number 1 laid first week of April last year, and the yellow belly 2 laid about May 15th. But this year, the yellow belly 2 laid April's 1st, 2nd time frame, and yellow belly 1 still hadn't laid yet, but she's due any day now. You know?
So what do you do? If do you have like a system like, okay, like for me, I tried up until this point, October is when I start pairing. Do you have like a certain month that you start?
It's like September time.
September, and then if any of your females go late, do you wait? Like if they go late, do you wait to get them back on the same schedule, or do you just breed them again?
No, if they go late, I keep pairing them. So it was funny. So I got to think about like my heads, right? Like so I have a bunch of like adult female het pies, adult female het clowns. All the het pies that back a couple years ago I paid $500 and $600 however much for them, gigantic het pie females, cannot figure out what year to breed them to go. Will not go. I got lucky one time with like this big expensive het pie female. She ended up proving out, which was cool. But the couple years I had her, something bred once for me. Same thing with I got a Volta het clown female. Had her for years. she's proven out. She's definitely a head clown, but I can't remember which year she produced clowns. Just don't ever catch her. You know, and then but right now I don't have a crazy amount of breeder females, so I can't justify buying like a ultrasound and stuff like that now too, you know. So like me, if it's the breeding season, and if the male's eating, I'll just keep breeding them like once a month until something happens, until she stops like letting him breed and things like that too, which is also a good sign, you know. And it's also knowing your snakes too. So when you got some of these females, you know, 3 or 4 years in, you know when they're gonna go.
Yeah, you have that. You just know, you understand them.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Yeah, so but fortunately we don't have a gigantic facility. You can get to know stuff too, you know. So we'll come back to this later, like 5 years from now. We both have 400 breeder females, and you go, hey, yeah, remember that one female from the first video? And you're like, yeah, you know. But it'd be cool if you had, you know. Like I still got friends who have more than 50 snakes who name all their snakes still.
I tried. I think once I hit 20, I'm like, yeah, I can't remember. I mean, but some of them I still don't remember their names. Like, oh, I remember you. I used to call you. Not anymore, man. Now I have numbers. That's the way I remember them.
Yeah, they all have their designated number. Well, and then I have like just little magnetic labels across all their tubs and stuff too. I know the year, the morph, and the male and female too. And then I have like a little system like I used to have like a data card, whatever, and then I tried to switch over to reptile scan, and I was just thinking like, I'm not doing that mess.
I see it looks good, it looks useful, but I'm Excel. I'm an IT guy, so I use Excel, and that's what I do. Excel, and I put on my OneDrive, and I can update it from my phone. When I have time, I come here with my laptop and just write everything down. I have my little different color schemes and everything for certain things.
So like feeding day, I'll throw all the stuff in there and not put their label a certain way so I know that there's a rat in there. And then if I go back and they refuse it, I just pop the label upside down so I know that they refuse that week or whatever. And I keep it upside down until the following week. So like, you know, when I pair stuff, I move the labels over, things like that too. Or like, and then if they're breeding, I take those little circle stickers or whatever. I have certain color-coded stickers, or like I'll put that on there, the morph, and then like the date they bred. So throughout the year, you'll see a bunch of little stickers across the bar that usually falls off. That falls off, and then but I also keep a picture of everything, like every lock. I have every lock on picture and on video, and then like I'll mark it too. So, check out this cool trick. A friend of mine was telling me about this. The guy that logs all of his breedings, he puts a specific hashtag on his Instagram for like that female or that breeding. Mm-hmm. So like say if it was like let's say black pastel pied to a pied or whatever. So he'll put the picture and the hashtag could be like black past pied X pied. And there's not too many hashtags that say that. So if you search that hashtag on Instagram, you can find that specific picture.
So I wonder if you can track like the whole...
Yeah, so that way you can see the date on it, because usually you'll post it the same day. So if you post that picture the day it happened, he will know that's the day that we have. So that would be your backup to there. And then you're not using your hard drive or your space, you're using Instagram.
Instagram.
You know what I mean? So yeah, somebody said about that. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna start doing that, man. So
imagine creating like a specific hashtag for like a certain pairing and tracking that whole year. You remember that whole like, oh, this is when they've been locked up the first time, this is when I put them in. You take a picture and just see the progression. I think that'd be cool. And you tell your customer, hey, this is the clutch you're buying. If you want to see the whole process, look up this hashtag, and you'll see when I paired the parents, when they laid, hopefully be cashed off.
Right, and that gives the customer more trust, especially when you're doing like hats and stuff like that too. Because like, so have you been burned yet by a breeder yet? I'm not gonna say names, but have you been burned yet so far?
Nothing yet. I just don't really buy a lot of hats. Like,
so the last time, so this is a guy I knew like that had snakes and everything too, and he was moving to Texas. I got a male visual pie, 100% het clown, and the female was supposed to be a double het ghost clown. 2,800, 3,000 gram, big old female. Male's about 1,200 grams, super healthy, whatever. You know, had them. I did that breeding 3 years straight. I did not get a visual clown. There's no way if both of them had clowns that you don't get a visual clown. 3 years.
3 years, like, come on, the odds aren't that bad.
Not buying it, man. You know, so now I can't get a hold of this guy at all.
Hey man,
he got out of his stuff, you know, and that's not too, people like getting out of the snakes and stuff too.
you gotta be wary for it. You know, you gotta be like,
you gotta be worried about that too, because if they're gonna permanently get out of this like hobby, they don't care about their reputation now. You know what I mean? Like, so you go, oh, don't buy snakes from the guy who don't have snakes no more. You know what I'm saying? So
you're just burned completely. You can't get your money back. You can't warn anyone else because they're not even in the business anymore.
It's a small world, though. I'm catching him this week. I know he's in Texas, so I've narrowed it down to that tiny state. so I'll catch him. I know his first and last name, and I'm sure, you know, what industry he's still in right now. So, I mean, I'll catch him. So, it's not worried about that. But, I mean, lesson learned, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just how it goes, man. But, yeah, just the cool thing about it, man, is just we have so many people right now where you can do so much research on. There's so many people you can call to vet other people. There's so many, like, inquiry pages on Facebook now and things like that, too, that if you can weed out all the arguments and fights and stuff, too, you can actually find some good stuff, you know.
Yeah, those Facebook groups sometimes get a little crazy, man. I just, like, close. Okay, that's useful. All right, everything else, just close my eyes. I'm like, man, you guys argue for no reason sometimes, but there's good information out there.
Like, it'd be a topic, it'd be like, okay, is this and this allelic? And then somebody comment, this breeder don't know how to identify snakes. This not even what we're talking about and stuff too. And then like you've probably seen that post too, like last week too. It was crazy. Like somebody calling out another breeder saying he didn't know how to identify, you know, what morph this is as opposed to this one, and it just went off the rails. You know what I mean? So.
What do you do, like, when you're doing your identification of a morph? Where do you take your research from? Like, how do you help yourself identify something? I know for myself, I use YouTube. I use MorphMarket. I know some people like don't use MorphMarket, but I think it's a good tool.
So usually, like, I go to the World of Ball Pythons page because like that's like been around like longer as like most of them too. So usually, if you go in there and put that morph in, you will see a bunch of different examples of it, and sometimes you'll see like 5 or 6 different slides from like a baby or adult and things like that too. And also, so that's number one. And then if I really get stuck and it's something that like it has like something subtle or like the yellow belly or asphalt or some possible things like that, I got so many people now I can DM and go, you know, I can go, hey, here's all these pictures and stuff too, you know, like I've sent, you know, Billy from Mutation Creation a bunch of pictures with babies and go, hey, I got this, and I don't know if it's got this in it, and then he'll be like, okay, well, this is my example of this, and this mom proved out, so it looks just like yours, so it'd be safe to say that that's what it is, you know what I mean? So I got so many people like that. I just hit up a lot of people. I'm in a bunch of like Instagram groups too, not just Facebook ones. The Instagram groups I'm in, those people I'm actually legit close friends with, so it's a bunch of breeders in that group where we can like ask dumb questions and not get judged. You know, and then sometimes, you know, you got dumb questions and you messed up too, you know, and a lot of times.
But sometimes you gotta ask those dumb questions to learn, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna ask one dumb question, but I'm gonna remember it because, you know, the answer you gave me helped me out, and I'm not gonna ask it again.
And I like being, and in that group too, I like being transparent with my friends when I screw up, you know? I can actually go, hey, like there's been times I clean tubs, and like, I'm like, where'd my snake go? And I realized that I didn't take the snake out of the tub, and I got a pile of dirty tubs over there, and there's this like super blade clown stuck between 2 tubs.
You're like, all right, bro.
I've done that before, man. I'm like, man, I know he hadn't been breeding this year, but I know I was subconsciously mad at him like that, you know. So I've done it, man. You want to screw up, man, and that's how you get better.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes people expect the people that like are videotaping themselves or going on YouTube. They sometimes expect us to be like perfect. Sometimes.
Yeah, like, that too. And then, but there's also people who like actually come on there and then like. They're like an expert and stuff too, or they trying to come across like they're an expert on a particular topic instead of saying well, this is what you should do. Well, this is what I've learned and this is how I do it. You know what I mean? That's a big difference. You know, like just with the stuff. Some things I've always set my ways with, like the way I use I incubate my eggs. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, oh, I do this now, and then I use the easy hatch trays and things like that, which are cool, but when those things first came out, I already went to Home Depot and bought like sheets of those like light diffusers.
That's what I used to
and spent like a day and a half cutting those things perfect with snips and making sure I'm like taking my eye out with them too. And then like literally,
you hate it when you do it and you go down like, oh no, damn.
It was funny because literally that next day after I had piles of them ready to go and like stacked up, then I started seeing people's YouTube. Oh, this is a new thing, the Easy Hatch. I'm like, you know, like I could. So, but I mean, I'm not saying I would not use them, but if someone sent me some, I'd gladly try them out and see
how
them.
it works.
I mean, it just I have my system, you know what I mean? Like when they're like a couple days out from pipping, I usually just like take them off of that and just sit them right on the substrate by itself. Because at that point, it's probably not too soggy like it was. Because I oversaturate, so I don't do that whole ratio crap. You know.
Oh, for me, I use vermiculite, and then I got the light diffuser on top, and I go to where I can see the water like halfway up.
So like, because back in the days before people were using light diffuser, they would and they went past hatch right. They were like, okay, when you use your vermiculite,
the
got the 1-to-1 ratio by weight and stuff like that too. But depending on where you live at, that won't be consistent either because like here, there's no humidity at all. So between like we live in the desert and someone who lives in Louisiana, I guarantee you we can FaceTime each other right now and do a 1-to-1 water by weight, and one of us shit's gonna fucking crumble and the other one's gonna be like a soggy, nasty sponge, you know. So you gotta like just experiment with that too, but you don't need to do that when you got the light diffuser because
it's actually one of the things that I messed up. Like one of my lessons learned was when I was going to look at these new things that you're trying to do, or someone gives you, oh, hey, try this. I actually was trying to do that with the vermiculite and
the perlite,
the mix, the 1-to-1 with the 1-to-1 water. And I'm like, all right, let me try. You know, then I have to cut these damn light diffusers. So I did it, and I actually lost some eggs because too wet. Yeah, I was like, nope. All right, I learned, I tried, but I'm not trying to lose any more eggs. You know what I mean?
Because think about anything else when you talk about like incubators, like especially ball python eggs, you want it as humid as possible in the tub,
but they can't get wet.
Wait. So you want it right on that line of humidity where you got it as humid as possible with whatever temperature, range you use and stuff like that too. But you don't want them wet, so you got to make sure you don't have condensation on your lid dripping on it and stuff like that too. And do you use like press and seal too? Or
I do press and seal too. I actually tried this again. Every year I try something new. I actually tried not using press and seal, and I noticed that my eggs were dimpling. Like it looks like they were dimpling like 2 weeks in. They were like drying out. I was like, nope. All right, tried it once, press and seal. I just try little things with like little situations, and if it doesn't work, then I revert back to what's worked for me.
See, I used to use this regular saran wrap before press and seal. I just always like stretched it real wide so that way there's no bend in it too, and then I stopped doing that last year, and I just go straight the lid or whatever like that. But I'm that person that checks on their eggs like every couple of days.
Actually, I check like once a week for sure.
I check and wipe and stuff as needed and stuff like that too. And even that little bit of condensation, sometimes it'll drip off on the side or whatever like too, and it's fine. I haven't had any problems with it yet.
Yeah, and I check every day too, and the reason I check is because sometimes you get those eggs where like the ones that are like at the closest to the wall, they start getting like a little bit of mold. So I've saved a couple of my eggs because I check so frequently. I get that foot powder, put it on there, and oh good.
What do you use on three? On count of three, what do you use to separate the eggs when you put them there to keep them from rolling? 1, 2, 3. Straws.
Like that.
Yep, straws. I got the big pack of straws. And, so I tried 1 year. I didn't have any straws. I was like, man, let me use these Q-tips. Terrible idea. Because it's got the cotton on it too, and like spores and stuff. Like you're gonna make like mini like mold and mushrooms in there. So don't use that. Or if you gotta do that, even if you like cut the little cotton balls off of it, it's the plastic piece. They're just too flimsy to start off to hold up to them sometimes too. And we live in like earthquake city, so I have to keep stuff from
I do it tight here too, man. Like they're snug. They're snug. Sometimes I'll be like, man, we're using like 3 straws. Doesn't matter. They're not moving. There's an earthquake. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, so I do that. I try to stack them like in a row, and then like I'll do in the end, and then do like every couple like that. But in those 6-quart tubs, you always not gonna get, you get 10 eggs. You got to like caddy corner them and stuff.
And
too.
like the zipper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've never had any eggs like rip on me as I pull them apart. Never really had that issue too, because
I normally catch them pretty. You catch them pretty quick because are you checking them every day? Like whenever the dude like.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. That's first thing in the morning.
I'm like that. I'm like that.
8 times
just like staring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're creepy. Like I wish I could like I'm trying to find a way to get like one of those like probe cameras in the tub and stuff, and
Like in the SWAT teams.
yeah, for real, like a bore scope thing, you know. So yeah, man. So yeah, so that's just my use straws, use light diffuser thing too, and then sometimes I go between like I get the bigger pack of vermiculite on Amazon. The chunks are like almost like size of like your fingernail,
like rocks.
They're like really big chunks, but they're real like spongy.
Okay.
So and then sometimes I might sprinkle a little bit of perlite in there, and then kind of just make that consistency. But I see a lot more people now just using straight water and sponges.
I see that too. The first time I saw it was Palumbo's.
Oh yeah.
I see him when I watch his YouTube videos. He uses sponges for all his eggs, so I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, my boy Gershon from GP Snake, shout out to Gershon. He does that too. He just has like the big sponge in there with the light diffuser on top. I'm just scared like if I miss a pit and the snake gets under the light diffuser or they like drown. I'm just worried about stuff like that, you know. But that actually works because that's as much humidity as possible you can get in there without getting the tub wet, you know. So
yes, what's the weirdest thing when your baby snakes hatch out and you see them in the tub? What's the weirdest thing you've seen? Like mine is like one of the head got stuck between the light diffuser and the box. I was like, oh man, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I've had snakes almost like knotted up like in between something before, which is why now 5 days from like day 55. I take it out and then I just place them like, and if it's like too wet, I'll drain that and I'll set them like those last 5 days straight on it. Because at that point, 5 days isn't going to kill your egg.
Yeah.
If you're day 50, 55, 53, water is not going to kill that egg. You know what I mean? So there's no way in hell. I mean, unless you incubate at like 86 degrees or 85 and you're trying to like a little slow, do crap like that. But yeah, at that point, you just, I'll take them out, drain it. And then like it'll still be kind of moist, and then just like put a little indent on them and stick them on there like that, and then they'll finish there. Okay. So when your eggs come out, do you keep them in there till they shed, or you separate them into different things? What do you do?
So once they hatch out, once they all get out of their eggs and all that, I wash them, put them in a bath, let them hydrate and stuff, get all that the gunk off them, and then I put them in the same tub with paper towels, and I keep that paper towel moist. And then once they shed out, I actually got this from. I forgot who I got it from, but it's so once they shed out, I actually leave them in there with their sheds and all of them together for 2 to 3 days, and then from there I separate them and then they eat for me. That's what's been working for me.
Yeah, so I'm like a hybrid between the two. So I know people who like they'll take out the diffuser the last couple of days, let them come out of the egg, remove the eggs, and they'll stay like on like the substrate until they shed and then separate
from the egg tub.
So I know people like that too. I think Billy does that too. Okay. So like they'll be just like that until they shed and then he'll remove them. So once they're all out the egg, I remove all the substrate. I give them a brand new tub, and I wet the tap paper and keep them in the incubator until they all shed like that. Keep it in there. So that way, because when they come out, that's the exact humidity they've been in all this time and this temperature all this time too. So I know they'll have like perfect clean sheds after that. So and then as soon as they all shed together, then I separate them like that too. Yeah. So and then especially too, we talk about a rack space.
Yeah, true.
So or you get lower rack space too, you might need to hold something over. I just keep them right in there. Like I'll go like I said, brand new tub, like maybe 3 layers of paper towel, super soaked in there, set them in there like that, and then let them shed out in there. And then separate them like that, and then the next let them chill for like a day, and then offer food the next day.
You do hoppers for that first meal? What do you do? You do hoppers, racks?
I do big ass. I do like large fuzzies to like pups. Like if they're like
once they got hair on them.
Yeah.
Right?
So like average size. So like let's say like a 70. Maybe like a 65 to 80 gram baby that popped out around that time too. But if they're small, I gotta use like a mouse hop or whatever like that too. But I never do pinkies. I go straight to fuzzies or pups. So
yeah, I go fuzzies, pups, and then if they don't eat that, then I go with the mice. Yeah. Not adult mice, but like a hopper mice or something like that.
Yeah, because then sometimes I think the hopper mice move around a little bit more than like the pup.
It gets them in the mood, to eat and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'll try that. Very rarely do I have to get to the point where I have to assist feed something. Like, haven't had to do that. Well, I've done it yet, but let's say all my clutches throughout the year. So say like last year I did like 20 something or whatever, 20 something clutches. Maybe 1 egg out of 2 clutches out of those 20. Maybe 2 snakes out of like 2 clutches. Maybe I had to like assist feed and get them started.
I haven't had to do it thank you, I haven't had to do it, but I'm just like, I'd be nervous, like trying to assist feed a little bit. I mean, they seem fragile, so just grabbing them and then putting it in there, man, shoving the food in.
So before I started even breeding my own, so there used to be this thing back in the day that people freaking go crazy about now, right? Where people would just sell your snakes like wholesale, like as is, fresh out the egg. So like, I mean, like, so which means you don't know if they got throat issues, you don't know if they even want to take food. So you're literally just taking your chances on them too. So before I even produced my own snakes, I was getting like a clutch of like normal males and stuff like that too.
Do they sex them though when you bought them?
Yeah, so sex them and then whatever, just something like that. So like, so maybe like 6-7 years ago was the last time before, you know, people started going crazy about that stuff. It was like a Mojave clutch with like 2 female Mojaves and then like a 2.2 like normals or whatever like that. They had all like a granite look to them too. So yeah, I got them for a good deal. It was like $250 for 2 female Mojaves too. You know, so just having to start those, everybody did well except for the one Mojave female. She took the longest to bring along, but she ended up being like the biggest snake. You know, so but now that's kind of. People still do it. I guarantee you there's people out there who still do it.
They just don't advertise it.
They just don't advertise it. And you know, people, there's always something to bash somebody else on too. You know, like people gonna bash on you if you cut your eggs. Even if all your babies got pimped out except for one, and you cut that egg, somebody be online talking crap about you cutting your egg and stuff too.
Yeah,
you know?
When it comes to cutting, I fall in line with I would rather not see a dead baby that I could have saved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I cut when one starts pipping. That's when I cut them all. I mean, I think if one's coming out already, I think they're all ready to come out. So I cut. I don't do huge. I don't open the whole top. I just cut open really quick, take a look. I see if I get any type of movement and anything like that, and then just leave them in there, man.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But I cut, man. I'm trying to save these babies. You know what I mean? I just feel bad if they were to die in the egg and I could have done something.
Yeah, you know how sick you'd be if you let a super asphalt die in the egg. That you could have said.
Yeah, just like,
you know, but he'd be like, oh, that's only just a like 0.0001% chance. Everyone else who cuts eggs, you're just anxious and greedy, and all you see is dollar signs. Shut up.
Stop.
Like, you know, and I guarantee a lot of those people who preach about like not cutting probably cut their eggs most likely. 90% of those probably still cut too. That's just like all those politicians who like oppose like gay marriage, but are like hooking up with guys in the airport bathrooms. You know, it's like, you know, people just. It's just those people who are vocal about things like that. Those are the people to me who like the most weary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's always like. I like people that you work with is always preaching about being faithful in their marriage and they're the ones cheating and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like the people that like do the most shit talking have the most to hide.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably just like, you know,
that's
self-conscious and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the truth in most cases, man. So, but you plan on picking up any more stuff this year or?
I gotta see, man. This year I'm trying to hold. Well, I said I was gonna try and hold back and not purchase after I just purchased a banana clown female from Chris. But I'm trying to hold back, so I'll see. And I just want to see what I produce this year. So like the last 2 years, I've been selling mostly everything. I held back here and there, but this year I really want to hold back a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm producing my own hets, so I can really trust it. So holding back a lot of stuff. So let's see.
Yeah, this is definitely been for some reason crazy. A lot of people I know, it's a hold back season. It's like for me, double heads, triple heads, head clown stuff, multi-gene head clown stuff, like pie stuff, axanthic stuff. It's just, like I got rid of like a lot of the fluff, the stuff that I really stop kind of putting my energy into and just trade it out for stuff just to make room for all these projects too, so I'm excited, man. Like
what are you most excited for? Like which is your
all my asphalt stuff. Yeah, so all my asphalt is going to all my recessive stuff. So like my asphalt lavender stuff is growing. For next year I'm gonna have visual asphalt lavender stuff. I'm gonna have asphalt pie stuff next year. I'm gonna have asphalt double head clown pie stuff next year. I'm gonna have asphalt axanthic stuff next year. So I'm working like next year's project. I'm gonna make super asphalt lightning pies. Yeah, so that's what
what you got.
So that's been like my crazy gene I've been dealing with right now too. Like I'm gonna put that HE asphalt nails are going to normal stuff, GHI, everything too. So just seeing what we can do with it, man. And eventually I'm gonna phase out like all my yellow belly stuff too. But right now they're still breeding or whatever. So I'm gonna make freeway stuff because people like freeway stuff. People like freeways and freeway combos still, you know. So, but yeah, I got super asphalt stuff coming this year, so that's the plan. So hope that works out.
I closed the gate because I put Charlie in the backyard.
So, yeah, so that's the plan, man. Just work on like just the super.
She's like, oh. So we're gonna super.
I just cut that or whatever. So it's made me simple. So yeah, so yeah, super asphalt, lightning pipe stuff, super asphalt, xanthic stuff, asphalt. There's asphalt. That is just
Everything asphalt. That's cool. Yeah, for me, I like. This year I was really excited to put the Wookiee. I really just want to see what the Wookiee does. So I'm putting Wookiee to everything, and I'm putting that Hypo Super Mojave GHI guy to everything, dude. I just like them, man. Like,
that's gonna be sick, man.
Yeah, so
it's gonna document you. Hey, man, I heard you got some.
Yeah, I put him to that Hypo GHI female, but I also put him to a straight up Hypo female. So he's a Super Mojave, so everything's gonna be Mojave. He already has GHI, so I'm gonna just make a whole bunch of Hypo GHI Mojave.
Yeah, so I don't know how to cut this video up yet, whether we're going to do 2 parts or what, but when he's talking about his male is Super Mojave GHI Hypo. So yeah, so it's gonna do a lot of stuff with that too, you know. So I might have to like send you that blackhead hypo. I might have to send you that hypo, that blackhead hypo I got, man. And we can do some.
Was that
That's a female, yeah.
It's a female, all right.
So do some Mojave GHI hypo blackheads.
Dude, I like that blackhead gene. Okay, so last year I went to Wookiee. I had the chance of going blackhead or Wookiee. Mm-hmm. I went Wookiee. So I don't see a lot of stuff done with Wookiee yet, but I'm looking at all this blackhead combo stuff that people that are working with. I'm like, did I make a mistake? Blackhead looks so awesome, man. Like it's just so clean.
Yeah, man. I just like a lot of people are using that now to try to make that like that true like black snake that doesn't like fade and stuff too, you know. So a lot of people put like GHI and blackhead and like black pastel and kind of all those darker genes together too, man, and see like what stays the darkest the longest, you know. So. Yeah. So a lot of people try to make a ball python that kind of has the iridescence of like what's those Boline's pythons.
Yeah, the rainbows. So yeah.
It was crazy too because like even like super black pastels, I produced a couple of those 2 years ago. Like the one.
Are you still working on those this year too?
I got black pastel pies coming.
Okay.
So what? A couple of years back, what kind of put me on the map was that. Have you seen that super black pastel I made that was possible head pie?
Yeah.
That has like this huge ringers on it, like that, but it's only 50% het pie. But and I was calling it the Orca, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, so
you still have that?
No, I sold it to a guy. He paid for it ahead of time, and then ended up getting some like raptor chip like lodged up on the inside of his lip, whatever, and caused like something happened with his eye, and ended up dying and stuff too. But his brother is actually. Kind of my mentions. I sold him to a guy up in Northern California 2 years ago today.
Dang.
Yeah, and he's huge now. He's like 1,200 grams, nice and fat. Because the guy has an all white, he has a super lesser and then the super black pastel. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'll send you his Instagram whatever I did too. I think it's Boot Noodles. I think that's his name. Boot Noodles is his page. Yeah, he's got a super lesser and a super black pastel. So he just. A young kid too, man, just hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, you sell this? Yep. Here's your money."
Does he breed or he just?
No, he just has me. Yep.
$1,000,
$1,500, whatever it was back then. Sent me the money right away.
Just fell in love with it, man. You get those people that just like they're not into breeding, but they see something awesome and they're pay anything for it. You know what I mean?
It's like you go to shows. It's crazy. You go to some like shows. Well, hopefully you go back to shows again.
I hope so, man. I miss them, man. I'm fiending for. I'm like, come on, let's show.
Like, you see people with like a ball python on their wrist or whatever like that, and then you're sitting there like, what the hell is that? And then like, I guarantee the next 2 years you'll see people with like Pompeii's on their wrist. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah, that'd be nuts, man.
What's the last show you went to?
The last show I went to was Pomona.
Did you go to when they moved over to the Anaheim, like the convention center? I think that's where they moved, right?
I went to, my last show I went to was Pomona 2 years ago.
2 years ago? So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. I went to Pomona. I was just coming back from Arizona, from Yuma, and I just like took a little detour. And I was like, yeah, I'll just see what they got. And I'll leave them like a bunch of I left like a scaleless head stuff. And I'm out of that project.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you try stuff and
It
it
just
works
works for you.
Like what I've learned is to try to accept when a project just isn't coming out the right way for you, or you don't have the right stuff at the time to deal with it too. You know.
So if you don't mind me asking, what like you just decided to exit, get out the project?
Yeah, it was a scales head nail, and I wanted to choose between like whether I had like some other clown stuff I was doing and like some other pie stuff too, and those females just fit better with those other recessive stuff than just doing like just having a scales head nail. Then too at the same time also like I started fading away from it because we still hadn't seen the. There was inconsistent information about the super scalar stuff too. Some people who like had them originally, like you didn't know why they died, or that person had it and stuff too. And like, there's a couple of people now who are talking about it. Like I don't know, there's just one kid in Texas who was on the podcast. It's the one who had like the $1 million collection or whatever. He explained that it was his fault and why like the scales died because I guess it had like a stuck shed, and then like. He had like helped it, like peeled it off himself and then like screwed the snake up or stuff like that too. And then you gotta decide yourself like, can you really? I asked myself at that time with how busy I was and everything, can I really spend time with a smaller group of snakes in my entire collection where I need to like be on them and have like different like a whole different like a whole different setup. Do I have the time to do like a whole different husbandry and monitor these scales prior to and I honestly had the time. No, people are like, well, you should be able to get your snake every day. Yes, I understand that, but if you got a whole specific setup in your room that's made a certain way and you use a certain substrate and use that, and if you had to change up everything for a certain group of animals now, to me at the time it just wasn't worth it, so I just got out of it.
Yeah, and it looks like it needs like a different level of like investment in time for those type of snakes.
Yeah.
You need to like every day monitor them, make sure they're moist, make sure that but then you can't have them like too moist or too they rot, they get the scale rot. You gotta. It's just really they seem to be sensitive. I don't want to bash the snakes and all that, but at least for me, it's just like something that I don't think I could do here in my collection.
But there's also people who I know who say, nope, I treat them just like my other stuff. I have visual scalar stuff, and they have the exact same setup. It's a snake right next to it, above it, below it, left and right up in the rack, and it's good to go. So I mean, and just like everything else, you're not going to always get the whole story about stuff too, especially if it's a project that people are pushing to sell. You know what I mean? Like, were you around for the whole desert thing?
I was getting, when I got into breeding and all that, I had to research this. So it was like at the tail end of when people were actually like, oh, it's deadly, it's lethal, and so I was like,
like how the females can't make viable eggs, they get egg bound or they never produce and things like that. And everybody under the sun trying to figure out a way to like do it and stuff too, and it just didn't work out. Which is why, like, what's funny is that like I had some like desert stuff back in the day, and then when it failed, like it took me so long to even start dealing with desert ghost stuff just because I had the word desert in it. I was like, I don't want to deal with this shit.
Not again.
I'm not dealing with this desert stuff no more, So now I'm slowly getting back to like the desert ghost project. A lot of my friends this year producing some visual desert ghost stuff.
Dude, desert ghost is awesome, man. I don't have any desert ghost. Maybe someday I hope to have it, but man, desert ghost.
Dude, even some of the simplest stuff, like dude, a lemon blast desert ghost is like a lemon blast desert ghost visually, like appealing wise, not knowing the genes, will blow out every snake in my freaking collection. Like side by side. If you go to a casual and I go, okay, this is lemon blast desert ghost and a baby like itchy super blade clown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which one's worth more? Probably this one, right? A female, but people always pick that one. So visually, it's just so much visually appealing. They're so good on cameras. You can use a fucking Nokia camera or whatever on that thing and still have a beautiful snake. So
use a flip phone.
So Desert Ghost is definitely that's one of the projects I'm gonna get into for next like couple years or whatever. So
yeah, Desert Ghost is good, man. I like it. I want to get into it more. So,
but I'm already starting off like I got friends that's got like Desert Ghost pies on the ground, like eggs on the ground right now. Well, double head Desert Ghost pies. So I'm gonna try to.
Come on, you don't want to get.
You want to train something.
You don't need them all.
You don't need all of them. Like, man, you know where they're at. They're right around the corner, man.
You can just make them next year. Just give me this.
Yeah, so like Desert Ghost pies, Desert Ghost clown, stuff like that. I'm actually gonna start doing some puzzle stuff this coming season. So I'm doing that axanthic I have. I'm gonna do some double head axanthic puzzles. So
puzzle.
Yeah.
I think Miguel just posted a picture.
Of the super pastel. It was like super pastel head puzzle. So I commented with the GIF halfway. Like that no damn head puzzle. That's a strong ass head, you know.
It's just like with the desert ghost and then the puzzle through the heads. They just they're like a big influence. The head has a big influence on everything.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I love that project. So
you have puzzle right now, or you're gonna get?
I got a nail puzzle.
Nail puzzle. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for a visual puzzle?
Yeah, he's coming.
Oh, you coming?
Yeah, he's coming. He's on the way. So I got that. So for next season, Clown Pie is going to a bunch of stuff, and then the puzzle stuff, and this is. I'm excited.
That's cool, man.
So, but this season now though. I'm just waiting for all these holdbacks. I have all this empty space, man. Just grow out stuff. And
so this is your year. You're gonna hold back a lot of stuff too.
A lot of stuff, man. Hold it back a lot. Like these first clutch 1, clutch 2 will all be gone in a couple of weeks probably.
Yeah.
So because I got that one egg out of clutch 2, which is the Tofino or albino, and then the one coming up behind him is the Inchy Asphalt to the Pied. I'm keeping hopefully an Inchy Asphalt male and all the asphalt or Inchy Asphalt females, and then whatever other males is going. Then I got the black pastel bred back to his mom, the head pied. I'm gonna keep back all the black pastel pied females. So just to have you can never have too many pies and clown stuff too, And then my lemon blast pie, my lemon blast clown, he's bred to multiple head clown females and stuff like that too. And then my banana clown, he's bred to like a lot of like visual females, like the spot nose pastel and the banana pinstripe Inchy fire. So
now I know why you're holding back a lot of stuff.
So if I can get a bunch of super banana pinstripe Inchy fire head clown,
it'd be good.
You know what I mean? So just real cool projects, man, and stuff for the future. And then I got a pastel Inchy possible head clown I produced 3 years ago. She may be able to go this winter. So I'm gonna prove her out with some visual stuff too. I'm just put her to the lemon blast clown, so I get a so
you prove her out, right?
So be super so if she proves out, I get super pastel Inchy pinstripe clown, So see what happens.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds awesome.
So yeah, man, that's just this. Trying to leave a little mark in this industry. It has some fun with it, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm at the point now when I go in my snake room, that's my chill spot.
Yeah.
Even if it's 80 some odd degrees in there the whole time.
Like right now, right?
It's like 84 right now, but I'm in there getting my heat shock proteins on and stuff too. Like sometimes I bring my small TV in there, my PS4, when the rest of the house is being chaotic and the dogs are running around being crazy. I'll lock myself in there and I'm playing Madden or just hanging out.
I got my TV here, so I'm mostly just chilling, watching my stuff on here, just relaxing. This is like my chill zone, you know what I mean? If I had a long day at work, come here, just work. I come here clean and it's relaxing, man.
Mm-hmm. How many hours a day do you think you spend in the room? Other than today, which was all day.
Yeah, no. I probably spend I do most of my stuff in the week and during the week. I do spot cleaning here and there, but I do most of my heavy stuff on the weekend. But on the weekend, I probably spend 5 hours, maybe 5-6 hours just in here throughout the weekend, just cleaning and just stuff like that. But during the week, I'm here watching TV, chilling. I work on my laptop in here, so it's my space. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So did we talk about what else you want to get into this year or whatever? What other projects that you're thinking about that you don't have yet?
Blackhead, man.
The Blackhead.
I really want to get into Blackhead. Yeah, I don't know about the recessive, just because most of my collection for the recessive part, it's clown and hypo, and I really like to work with that.
You don't have any pies though, huh?
I don't. I do not. Actually, I have one female. She's het clown, het pied, and I haven't proved her out yet. So she's only bred for me once, and that season she only had. It was my first season breeding.
She's 100% double head or possible?
She's I think she's 100% double head, but I haven't proved it out though. So they say it's one of those where remember I said I haven't gotten screwed just yet, but they told me she was 100% clown pied. So I'm hoping. But this year I have her going to a banana who's a triple head. He's hypo clown pie banana.
Okay.
So let's see. It's really hard odds, but let's see.
So you get the banana clown pie, 66% head of hypo is a good deal.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's why like the Xanthic project I'm doing, the Xanthic clown stuff. She was renting banana clown, so I get some male bananas that's double head. You know what I mean? I'm probably keep back 2 of those and then doing some trades and stuff. You know, like that ultra male clown project I was telling you about.
What do you what line? Xanthic line is it?
Oh, VPI.
VPI, okay.
Yeah, all my sons. Far as I know, anyway. far as I know, all I know is she reproduced herself already, like when I first got her. So yeah, but I mean, I can tell the difference between some of like the lines and like the so mine's VPI, and then some people like to put different lines in like with pie stuff. So people say, oh, the VPI line is better with clown, and then the MJ is better with pie, which I mean. I kind of agree because it does look different. Then you know you got like the Joliffe Xanthic stuff, and then like the TSK Xanthic. So having like was that 4 different lines of Xanthic kind of crazy. But I know a guy out of Arizona who did like triple head. Oh. So he did like it was like probably like VPI, TSK, and then
all the different
like
different lines, yeah.
And put them together, and they got like a bunch of weird odd visuals. I think it was Micah Sumter out of Arizona. Yeah, I got some stuff from him, and looking at that project, and then you'll never know for sure which one is which. Right? But I mean, it was just a good thing to play around with, you know.
Yeah. What do you? How do they look? Did you have a picture on Instagram?
Yeah. I find it and see the picture. I'll just call him, message him too. I got his number too. Yeah, I bought my pastel and she had clown from him like 3-4 years ago or something like that too. So I still keep up with him too. And he's in like area Arizona where I got some friends at too. So I'm probably gonna try to hook up a video with him one day too. So cool. Yeah, but that's a cool project, man. And then yeah, you need some more pie stuff.
I do, man. I do. I'm just like, let's see. That's why I gotta get another rack. Gotta grow it out. Even though I said I wasn't gonna get any more.
There's people saying that the pie gene is like, oh, it's not what it used to be. Man, it's so much stuff you can do with that thing.
Yeah, there's still
because there's so many genes that interact with pie that you can make low white, and then simple ones like inchy and pinstripe and stuff like that too. You can bring you can like reduce the white and have a bunch of pattern, and then bring other stuff with it too. You know, so
yeah,
it's still stuff you can definitely do with pie. So.
Yeah, I think I have like a lot of single gene females that, you know, as time goes on, I'll probably be replacing them with probably different recessives. But who knows? Let's see where I go from here.
Yeah,
always trying to grow.
I got one female now that I'm trying to prove out her being het pied for 3 years now, because she's 100% het lavender with possible het pied. So her first time she ever bred, she bred to visual pied het lavender. And got no pies out of that.
How many eggs?
Like 6 eggs or something like that. And then the next time, and so that's when the guy got her from. So then when I got her gravid. Like, which cool. I was like, man, I paid $250 for this big gravid female. Then like I had her for like 2 weeks, and then boom, was on eggs. I was like, what the heck? All those eggs failed because my incubator, like those were like my last 2 clusters of the year. I forgot what else was in there. And then like one day the incubator like crapped out, and then like I came home and the incubator was like 108 inside of there. So it was cooked. It was literally some like slow cooked eggs, man. So, and then last year I brought her to a proven double head clown pie because I proved double head lavender pie. I proved out both genes with him already, and I had him since he was a baby. So I knew he was legit.
You know he was good, yeah.
All normals with her.
So what? If she doesn't prove out this year, what you put her to this year?
So this year I bred her to my black pastel pie just because I knew I had like a little single, like a visual pie and stuff too. So at least it's a 50-50 shot. So she laid 6 to 8 eggs, and I don't get this time. I'm just gonna like move on with her with the lavender project next year. So whatever, if she doesn't produce, she should be laying like probably next like week or 2. So then I want to just move her on and then bring her to my asphalt het lavender male, and then I got some other het lavender stuff I'm breeding him to too. So she'll just go into the asphalt lavender project.
Yeah. Move her over. That's cool.
I'm just mad I didn't get any inchy stuff out of that. Like I didn't get it out of that lavender because I bred my inchy asphalt to a visual lavender and got no inchy stuff out of it. I wanted to get inchy asphalt because the inchy and the lavender together is a crazy combo too. And it was like, man, I missed that though. But it'll come back around when I put both sides together and I do the inchy asphalt clown pie, dreamsicle project. You know, too. So I'm not really sweating that too much, and then I just like stick that on one of these inchy asphalt pies to a visual avenue probably, and just kind of, you know, it's a lot of ways around it, man. It's just, brain hurts thinking about all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot to track.
Because a month from now, I'll change my mind.
So it was like we were talking earlier, where do you plan the whole year, or do you choose like right before? You're like, I had a plan the whole time, but changing it up.
By the time I start pairing stuff like that, the plans change probably 3 or 4 times too. You know, so I mean, because sometimes you do like get caught up keeping up with the Joneses and stuff too, because a lot of times we see these, like, you might have stuff in your collection that you probably never thought putting together. You know, you might have this one, that one, and you'll be like, wait a minute, I got all of that right here. I could have did that last year, you know, and then you get some crazy combo, or you figure out that something might be a lyric that you haven't counted, because I mean, math-wise, you got almost an infinite amount of combinations with all these stuff too, and not counting all the morphs that's essentially the same morph, you know. So, but that's for another that's for another conversation. We'll spend like a month doing that stuff, man. But I mean, do you want to close out with anything, man?
No, I just want to say thank you for coming over, man. Thank you for checking out the place. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man, this was dope, man. I had a good time, man, and you know, all the information will be in the description down below. So Instagram, YouTube, all of that crap too, man. So man, I appreciate you out, man. Thank you.